Good morning, friends. Happy Republic Day. India's freedom movement against the British was witness to an overwhelming participation of people throughout the country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Assam to Gujarat. Thousands of men and women fought together against atrocities of the British Raj. While many selflessly gave their lives to protect the dignity of their motherland, others got injured and embraced imprisonment. There were many freedom fighters who looked into the eye of the tyrannical British rulers and dared to raise slogans of an independent India. Some are celebrated all across the world among the Indian community, while there are others whose names, despite being worthy of all the glory that there is, remain anonymous to the masses today. Surya Sen, 1894 to 1934. Popularly known as Master Da, Surya Sen was a leading revolutionary in the Indian independence struggle against the British rule. He was actively involved in the non-cooperation movement. He is well renowned for his leading role in the 1930 Chittagong Armory raid, where he led a group of revolutionaries to raid the police armory. He was hanged on January 12, 1934 for his attempt to rebel against the British. Matangini Hazra, 1869 to 1942. Matangini Hazra was a revolutionary in the Indian independence movement who fought for upholding Gandhian principles. Actively involved in Quit India movement, she led a procession of revolutionaries to seize Tamluk police station in West Bengal on September 29, 1942. The police opened fire at the crowd. She was shot thrice, but that did not deter her from marching with the tricolor in her hands. She also kept shouting, "Vande Mataram," till she breathed her last. Bhaga Jatin, 1879 to 1915. Jatindranath Mukherjee, popularly known as Bhaga Jatin, played a crucial role in India's freedom movement. With a dream of saving his motherland from the clutches of British rule, the revolutionary led the Jugantar Party in Bengal. On September 10, 1915, he died after being critically injured in gunfight with the British police. Inspired by Swami Vivekananda's ideas, one of the bold statements made by Bhaga Jatin was, "We shall die to awaken the nation." Bir Tikendrajit Singh. Bir Tikendrajit Singh was the prince of the independent kingdom of Manipur and the commander of Manipuri army. The Anglo-Manipur War took place under his leadership. On March 31, 1891, the British government sent military force against Manipur from Kohima, Silchar and Tamil. The Manipuri army fought bravely against the British under the leadership of Bir Tikendrajit Singh, but eventually lost. The British arrested him and he was finally hanged on August 13, 1891. Pingali Venkaya, 1876 to 1963. Born in Andhra Pradesh, freedom fighter Pingali Venkaya was an ardent follower of Gandhiji's ideals. Known for his knowledge in geology and agriculture, the first variant of our current national flag was designed by Pingali Venkaya in 1921. In 2009, India Post released a postage stamp in his honor. Durgavati Devi, 1907 to 1999, was actively engaged in the armed revolution against the British rule in India. She was an active member of the revolutionary group Naujawan Bharat Sabha. After the assassination of British official J.P. Saunders, she assisted in the escape of Bhagat Singh and Rajguru via train. As revenge for the hanging of Bhagat Singh, Devi tried to assassinate Lord Haley, the former governor of Punjab. However, her attempt was not successful, ultimately leading to her imprisonment. Tirot Singh Salem, 1802 to 1835, a freedom fighter and chief of Nongklo Kingdom in Khasi Hills. Tirot Singh bravely fought with the British forces, even though he gave a note to a British officer, David Scott, for construction of a road through his kingdom to connect present Bangladesh with Assam. He later launched a war with the British after he came to know of the conspiracy. After engaged in the war for 4 years, Salem was eventually captured by British forces. He was then deported to Dhaka, where he breathed his last. In 1988, India Post released a stamp in his memory. Hemu Kalani, 1923 to 1943. Born in Sindh, Hemu Kalani was a freedom fighter and one of the prominent student leaders of Quit India movement in 1942. In order to curb the movement in Sindh, British troops were sent on train to Sindh. To stop the British forces, Kalani, along with his friends, made a plan to derail the train. However, before they could execute their plan, Kalani was caught by the police. Even though he was tortured in an inhuman way, he never divulged the names of other members involved in the plan. On January 21, 1943, he was hanged to death. He was 19 then. Pritilata Vadedar, 1911 to 1932, was a school teacher and a prominent leader of the anti-British movement in Chittagong. As a member of Surya Sen's revolutionary group, she led the armed attack on Pahardali European Club on September 23, 1932. One person died and several others were injured in this attack. The attacker were later caught by the British police. Preeti Lata was wounded in a shooting that followed and was soon surrounded by the British police. To avoid arrest, she consumed cyanide and embraced death. Velu Nachar. Even before the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, Velu Nachar was the first Indian queen to wage a war against the British Raj. The former princess of Ramanathapuram opposed British rule and gave the rurals a good run for their money. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Thank you.